I've been asked to talk about shame and guilt and self-love. So I'll attempt to do that in a way that makes sense. What we humans fear is to be excluded, cast out, and lonely. Because we're social beings, we're wired for connection, feeling included, for communication, real intimacy, cooperation. And also our brains are wired like that, not just emotionally, but our brains. In the past, if we were excluded from our family, group, tribe, that meant death. So our need to belong is important. And if we then suffer from low self-esteem, we might feel that we're not enough as we are to be accepted, to be seen, loved, and included in the group. Low self-esteem with the fear of being excluded. So how does one fix that? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. One, the main way, it's always the main solution to everything, and that is to know yourself deep down. Because when you start to really know yourself, there is nothing to forget. There's not really that much to feel ashamed for or guilty about either. You realize that it's human to falter, to do or say bad things at times. We're not perfect. We still live in this third dimension with extremely complex stuff around. We've been programming since birth to believe certain things, to act certain ways. A lot just happens on autopilot. And we're identified with this ego and our filters and all that. So yes, we're bound to do different mistakes. It's natural. But you don't have to be hung up on that and feel so terrible about it and guilty about it. What you can do, on the other hand, is to be as authentic as possible. So by being authentic, we're showing the world how we are. And when they accept us for who we are and not this role that we're playing. Because if we only get accepted by a fake role that we're playing, that's not really going to give us satisfaction, because we know that what we presented and what we're like is different. And when we are open to be vulnerable, we're open to life. We're open to all types of emotions, not just the one of shame and guilt, but that means we're also open to love, to acceptance, to peace, to the good stuff. Because you can't just close one part of your heart and say, well, I'm not going to feel this. And then another part is open only for the good stuff. It doesn't work like that. Or it's open, or it's not. So when you're open to feel that which is, even the painful stuff, even guilt, shame, when you accept that that's a part of life, the less resistance you have to feeling it, the less impact it will have on you. So a lot of times just the way that you're open to feel it lessens the impact of it. Because often it's like a resistance. That's what creates the charge. And that's what builds up the fear over time. So it becomes suffering. So if you can take instead the guilt or the shame, that feeling as it arises, and you face it and you feel it, it will start to disintegrate.